Have you ever had dreams where you feel like you're being chased, like you're running and you don't know why, but you know you mustn't get caught? So that's what I'd like to explore with you, this type of dream through Olivier's testimony. Hello, my name is Jeremy, and I am thrilled to meet you today. I am excited to share a little bit about myself and my journey with you. Let's embark on this adventure together and explore the wonderful opportunities that lie ahead. Thank you for joining me on this exciting path. And if you don't know it yet, I am passionate about dreams, and the purpose of my channel is to be able, by the grace of God, to help restore the culture of dreaming in our hearts, in our lives, and in those of our families. And let's talk a bit about dreams where we are chased, where we are pursued. I wouldn't classify this type of dream as nightmares, because generally speaking, in this kind of dream, we don't get caught. So what could these dreams mean? Once again, I've already made videos about this. Dreams can come from us. They can come from God, or they can come from the enemy. So I invite you to check out my previous videos to have a solid biblical foundation to continue with this video. But let's take a look at Olivier's dream together and see what this dream might be trying to tell us, and what other questions, the reflections we can have to interpret it well. Here we go. Olivier says, I dream that I'm being chased. I don't know how I got there, but I start my dream running and in fear. Someone is running behind me, but I can't see them, yet I know they're there. I don't know who it is, but I know they want to catch me. I manage to hide in a hole, and I tell myself that I will stay there for a very long time. But he still manages to find me. So I start running again, feeling like I'm all alone, left to my own devices, trying to save my skin. The one chasing me is getting closer and closer. I don't know if it's because he's running fast or if it's me struggling to try to run, but I feel like I'm moving in slow motion. And just when I think he's going to catch me, I suddenly wake up. I've had this kind of dream before. I don't know if you've ever had one. So what could these dreams mean? Well, when you have this kind of dream, I encourage you to put yourself in the presence of God, to pray, to say, Jesus, is there an area in my life where I'm being chased by fear? Because the main emotion in this type of dream is fear. Is there an area in my life where I'm being chased by fear? Because the main emotion in this type of dream is fear. All right. The fear that makes us run away, or the fear that tries to catch us, and we start running instead of confronting something we can't see. So we say, Lord, is there an area in my life where I'm afraid, fear of making a decision, fear of taking action, fear of taking this or that direction, fear of stepping into what you have planned for me. I feel intimidated, I feel scared, and it holds me back. So this kind of dream relates to that. It relates to this notion of fear that chases us to catch us, to intimidate us, and to stop us. What's interesting about Olivier's dream is that at one point he feels like he's moving in slow motion. He says, I run, but I don't know if it's the one who wants to catch me, who runs faster, or me. But I feel like I'm struggling, trying to run, but I'm moving in slow motion. What could that mean? Generally speaking, this kind of thing can point to a difficulty in moving forward in our Christian walk. And in Olivier's case, after talking with him about this fear he currently has in his life, that fear is holding him back in his walk with Jesus. And in Olivier's case, after talking with him about this fear he currently has in his life, that fear is holding him back in his Christian walk with Jesus. So if you also dream of being in slow motion, when you dream, it can, once again, generally speaking, from the feedback I've received when I discuss or we talk about dreams, it usually points to something that is holding back our Christian walk. So I encourage you to sit before God, to pray and say, Lord, what do you want to tell me through this dream? What area of my life is fear chasing me? Where fear is trying to catch me and I'm being caught by fear? And the Holy Spirit will definitely speak to you. I've talked to several people in the past few days saying, is it normal to have dreams and not be able to interpret them? And I replied again yesterday to a venture. I said, well, yes, it's completely normal and it's deeply biblical, and it also pushes us to stand in the presence of God to say, Lord, what do you want to tell us? And I really like to give this example from Jeremiah chapter 1, where God educates Jeremiah saying, now you are called to be a prophet. And he starts giving him visions. And once again, visions are not just reserved for prophets. We are all called with the Holy Spirit in us to receive night visions. And he sees a vision. The first one is an almond branch. And God said to him, what do you see? He says, an almond branch. And then God asks him, what does that mean? He will give a second vision, and he says, what do you see? He says, I see a boiling pot with its lid turned toward the north, but he doesn't know what that means. But he sees, and then God asks him, what does that mean? So it's completely normal. When God gives us a vision or a night vision, he shows us something, but for them to ask him the question. Say, Lord, I saw this, I saw this, I saw this. What could that mean for my life? And at that moment, the Holy Spirit will give you the interpretation. So again, it's completely normal when you dream of not having the interpretation now. So I encourage you, take a sheet of paper, take a pen, write it down, note it, reflect on it, and the Holy Spirit will lead you into all truth. Don't forget that it's perfect love that casts out fear. All right? So when you are afraid, ask Christ, ask Jesus to fill you with his love. Remain in God's love for you. And when you stay in his love, not because of what you do or don't do, but because of who you are, it's a matter of identity. You are a child of God. And when you remain in that love, then that love drives out fear. And that's how we gain victory over fear. I hope this video has blessed you. If you haven't done it yet, I encourage you to download the explanatory guide on the top 5 dreams to understand what these dreams might mean. Many of you are asking me how to write to you so we can exchange. Download the guide, and in return, we can write to each other by email. I will take the time to write to you. I receive more and more emails where I receive many dreams. So it takes a little time to respond to you. But I take the time to respond to each person. So with that, dream well and be blessed.